World leaders have admitted the global war on drugs has failed. Nowhere is this more relevant than in Asia, where the popularity of the highly addictive drug methamphetamine is on the rise. Governments seem powerless to tackle its supply, as underground factories produce more of the drug than the police can ever hope to seize. Attention has now turned to Asia's drug rehabilitation centres, where hundreds of thousands of addicts are forcefully detained at any one time. I'm Fauzia Ibrahim. On this edition of 101 East, we investigate Asia's speed trap.
Chiang Mai province, northern Thailand. The Thai army are hunting for an old enemy. These hills are remote and sparsely populated, perfect for hiding an illegal crop of opium poppies. Once the poppy fields are identified from the air, the ground troops are sent in.
Dog 100% เนาะดอก 100% กรีดแดดหนาแน่น100เข้าใจไหมฮะพอถึงเสร็จแล้วเราวัดพิกัดเสร็จก็วัดขนาดกว้างคูณยาวนะครับเราวัดความสูงต้นฟินเสร็จแล้วก็ดูดอกเนี่ยประมาณนี้อันนี้ 100% หมายความว่าดอกเต็มที่แล้ว 100% นะฮะหนาแน่นคือความหนาแน่นของพื้นที่แปลง
The sticky sap from these flowers is raw opium, which can be smoked or refined into heroin. This is an annual ritual. Every year, the Thai army destroys hundreds of poppy fields before their opium can be harvested. This whole region was once notorious for opium, but today another highly addictive drug is being smuggled through these same hills between Thailand and Myanmar. It is proving much more difficult to eradicate. It is called methamphetamine, known in Thailand as yaba, or crazy medicine. In Bangkok, police deliver their latest seizure of yaba for analysis. These 5 bags contain 500,000 pills with a total street value of over $3 million. By today's standards, this is only a medium-sized haul.
เป็นงานที่เราค่อนข้างจะพบบ่อยสำหรับยาบ้าจำนวน
In this work, we often find yaba. Lately, we've been finding quantities of over 100,000 pills. The amounts are increasing.
แล้วก็จะทำการแกะซองเพื่อเปิดดูว่า
Then we open the plastic packet to see what's inside.
ซึ่งภายหลังจากที่เราลองเปิดดูมันก็
At this point, we can see the pills.
ลักษณะเม็ดยา
This looks like yaba.
คล้ายยาบ้าแรกๆก็จะตื่นเต้นนะฮะเพราะมันเยอะมาก
When I began working here, it was exciting to see so much drugs. But after a while, it all seemed normal. I see hundreds of thousands of pills every week, sometimes millions.
ถ้าเราใส่เพิ่มอีกซองมันก็ต้องกลายเป็น 1,600 เม็ด
Our information is that it came from northern Thailand. It probably came into Thailand from neighboring country, like Myanmar.
This shipment was on its way to Malaysia, where its price will double. But even 500,000 pills is only a tiny fraction of what police are able to intercept. It is the middle of the night on a stretch of highway in central Thailand. Police are about to intercept a huge shipment of yaba pills being smuggled into Thailand from neighbouring Laos.
We are expecting about 10 minibus coming in from the border, and we expected to find that they were concealing drugs in their shoes or in the car itself. But we're going to intercept the drugs here.
This operation should go smoothly. There is an undercover cop with a tracking device in one of the minivans.
This is a special operation, and it's an operation that has been working on the syndicates for years. And I have a special order to be out of my jurisdiction to intercept this shipment.
But after a whole night of searching, General Sangson and his team come up with nothing. The tracking device isn't transmitting. The smugglers, it seems, have been tipped off. General Sangson is disappointed, but not surprised.
If you catch one, from 10 operations that we do, I think it's a good percentage. Because many things could go wrong. I think if you catch 10% of the drugs that are passing through Bangkok, I think it's a very high percentage.
But that also means that 90% still makes it to the people.
Right.
Big-time drug traffickers are tough to catch. But with yaba so popular in Asia's towns and cities, small-time users are much easier targets. At another checkpoint in Thailand, police are stopping young people and searching them for drugs. This man is arrested with 1/10 of a gram of crystal methamphetamine, better known as ice. Even those who carry no drugs can be arrested if minute traces are found in their urine. In 2009, more than 135,000 people were arrested on drug-related offences in Thailand.
In Thailand, you can be, if you are picked up with amphetamines or your urine tests positive to amphetamines, you'll be deemed an amphetamine user. So it's sort of like a broad strokes, which means that you will have hardcore users who probably need medical attention, and you will have people that really don't use much at all, or maybe haven't even used. Maybe they're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, who find themselves part of an anti-drug endeavour and will be picked up and put into these centres.
These men will spend 45 days in jail while the courts decide what to do with them. Some will then be prosecuted, but the vast majority will be sent for compulsory drug rehabilitation. It's 5 a.m. at an army base in central Thailand. The barracks belong to an artillery division. Now suspected drug users are detained here. If methamphetamine is the problem, this, according to the army, is the cure. To check that nobody has escaped this facility during the night, a head count is done before sunrise. Then begins what the army believes is the most effective treatment for drug addicts: exercise, and lots of it.
There is a school of thought that says, if my son or daughter is a methamphetamine user and is causing trouble, I can send them to a centre for 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, and they will come back from the centre and be an A+ student.
I first smoked yaba in my early 20s. I saw my friend using it and wondered how it would feel. So I asked my friends to get me some. I love its smell. It smells great. After smoking, I have energy to do many things. The bad part is I can't sleep. I stay up for days and start getting paranoid. I hear voices. I can't eat like I used to.
They are here for rehabilitation. They are here to quit drugs and to be trained physically and mentally through exercising. The army is well accepted by society, especially in order and discipline. Soldiers follow orders and obey. We apply this to the students here. We think it will work.
This is one of 86 drug detention centres in Thailand. Most are run by the armed forces. For these men, every moment of the day is regimented, even mealtimes. This is the second time Bandit has been through army rehab. During his 3 months here, he has worked his way up the ranks. He will be released in a few weeks.
When I leave this place, it's up to me to control myself. Here I have learned how to be patient, how to say no. I've learned that I must not take drugs again.
A new batch of young men arrive from a Bangkok prison. "19-year-old Mac was arrested with a small amount of ice at a police checkpoint in Bangkok.
I don't see myself as an addict. I only buy it when I want to smoke. I feel I should not have gone to smoke with my friend. But my friends asked me to.
The problem is that in Thailand particularly, and in these other countries, a lot of young methamphetamine users, so you're talking between, say, 16 and 25, 26, are being picked up with small amounts of methamphetamine, or they're having their urine tested, testing positive for methamphetamine, but what that doesn't do is detect the level of methamphetamine use, or whether in fact this person has a problem.
For casual and heavy drug users alike, the rules are the same: conform and obey.
เพราะฉะนั้นให้ใจเย็นๆไม่ต้องไปคิดบางคนมาวันแรกโอ้คิดจ้องจะหนีอย่างเดียวนะหนีก็หนีไม่พ้นหรอกหนีนักเรียนต้องหนีตลอดชีวิตที่วาดภาพไว้ว่าเข้ามาในศูนย์วิวัฒน์พลเมืองหรือว่ามองภาพว่าเข้ามาอยู่ในค่ายทหารนะจะต้องโหดร้ายจะต้องโดนกระทำรุนแรงในสิ่งต่างๆไม่ใช่นะไม่ใช่นะไม่ใช่ที่นี่ พยายามฟื้นฟูตามขั้นตอนมีระเบียบวินัยมีขั้นตอนของการปฏิบัติไม่ใช่พวกครูคิดมาเองและทำเอง
The centres that I've been to in Thailand certainly couldn't be compared to the same centres that I've visited in neighbouring countries. They're managed by a professional army or security force. They're clean. People are fed. So it's not so much the allegations of cruel or inhumane treatment. I think in Thailand it's a question of effectiveness.
Methamphetamine addiction is hard to treat. Heavy users can require months of psychotherapy and social support. But the army officers here have little or no expertise in treating drug users.
พวกเองกินน้ำปลาเยอะๆนะแคลเซียมพวกเองจะหายไปเยอะต้องเสพยากินน้ำปลาก็ไปเสริมแคลเซียมเอาเหงื่อออกมาเพื่อขับยาออกมาเข้าใจไหม
The army doesn't know for sure how many of these men will stay off drugs after they leave, but one officer makes a bleak estimate.
ประมาณ 40%
About 40%.
บางคนอยู่ในนี้
When they are in here, they can cope with everything.
เขาปฏิบัติได้
But when they leave, they see old friends in the same environment. These influences make them slip.
Relapse rates at drug detention centres across Asia are shockingly high. According to the World Health Organization, between 60 and 95% of people who go through compulsory treatment will take drugs again. Al Jazeera tried to talk with the head of Thailand's anti-narcotics agency. Our repeated requests for an interview were declined.
We have been in this business, compulsory business, for 28 years. It's too long. No? Now something needs to be done. Something innovative, something creative, something effective has got to be done. We cannot be doing the same thing for 28 years. And the result is not encouraging at all for us.
Dr. Sangeet Kaur is doing her morning rounds at a government rehab centre near Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Berapa jam you tidur? Okay, masih awal lagi ya. 1 minggu jangan fikir apa-apa. Rehat dulu. Nanti lepas tu kita bincang. Okay?
This is the detox ward where new arrivals spend their first few weeks.
For me, every individual that comes is a patient. He's not just a client or he's not just a drug user. So as a patient, the last thing that for me that I would want is for that patient to go through any stress or any form of physical pain. So as you can see, most of my patients, the first 2 weeks, I don't ask them to do anything. I just want you to rest. So that is the most important time for them to recover.
This is not a detention centre, but what Malaysia calls a cure and care clinic. Today, Dr. Sangeet is worried about one patient who is withdrawing from heavy methamphetamine use.
Harry is a patient who has been admitted here since the past 1 week. So when I saw him, I noticed that he looked a bit depressed. He did not have any eye contact with me, and when he spoke, he was looking away. And the first thing that he said that he's actually getting worse. He spent the whole night in the washroom. So he was lying in the bathroom, probably of the fear or trying to avoid the hallucination or the paranoia that something will happen to him here. And he said the hallucination got to a stage where the voice was actually asking him to commit suicide.
About 90 men and women live at the clinic. All of them have come here voluntarily.
If they come voluntarily, it's half the battle won. They said this is what they have been wanting for all this while. This is the best way to handle drug addicts. That's what they told me. Because there's a place for them to come voluntarily. Because they don't like to be forced. Because they are not ready when you force them.
Every day, with the help of trained staff, residents discuss different strategies to fight their addiction.
Trigger dalaman pada diri saya lah. Saya ni keluarga saya selalu tak percaya dengan saya. Saya dah berhenti pun dia cakap saya hisap lagi. Banyak kali macam tu.
30% dia orang-orang tak trust. Memang ini assume maksudnya mentality orang maksudnya family kita tak boleh buang. Walaupun kita clean berapa sober berapa lama pun
Kadang walaupun macam mana dia tengok kita okey, macam aku sekarang pun walaupun dah okey, tapi family aku dia punya trauma tetap ada. Sebab apa? Insiden yang kecil saja, macam aku cakap tadi, insiden yang kecil saja dia akan boleh jadikan relapse. Okey, jadi bermakna dengan
looking after drug addicts is a lifelong process. You got to cure them and care for them. That is what our approach is. Our approach is. It's no use putting them in one place, you know, discipline them, giving them all kinds of this military kind of very regimented and whatnot. No, it doesn't solve that kind of problem because it is an issue. It is a disease. To me, drug addiction is a disease. It is a chronic relapsing disease. So how do you handle this kind of patient? Surely you need to treat them like patients, and because they are not criminals.
Drug treatment in Malaysia is at a crossroads. There are still 20 compulsory rehab centres across the country, but many will soon be phased out and replaced by cure and care clinics like this one.
Yang dulu saya ada rumah, ada barang perabot, segalanya lah.
In the past, I had a house, furniture, and everything was perfect.
Hilang segalanya.
But now, I've lost everything. My family, my friends, everything.
Cuma diri saya.
What remains is only me. So much so, I feel like giving up at times.
Pernah juga macam saya menyalahkan.
There are times when I blame God and ask, why me?
Yang terima semua ni. Kat sini ingatan.
I would be lying if I say I don't think about drugs.
Tipulah.
Sometimes I yearn for drugs, thinking, I haven't taken drugs for a long time. However, here we are fully occupied with activities and we're given lots of counseling. I'm very grateful to get a second chance to get back on the right track. I don't want to die young while I'm on drugs. We never know when our time will come. I'm very thankful once again to be given this second chance.
Back in Thailand, Bandit has completed 4 months in army detention. Today he will be released.
Today they graduate from rehab. They know how to live properly in the outside world. In the past 120 days, we taught them how to work and blend in with society.
For Bandit and thousands of other young Asians, the hard part comes next, staying clean in a world awash with drugs.
I live in a place with lots of drugs. There are many drugs dealers. So it's a very tempting place, especially if I live with friends who use it.
What is now widely recognised over many, many years is this ongoing approach just simply has not worked. If we don't change the current approach to managing not only methamphetamine use but other illicit drugs in the region, we will continue to see relapse rates being unacceptably high. We will continue to see young people who have their whole lives in front of them taken away from mainstream society and further stigmatised and disillusioned. So there are options out there, but it requires a leap of faith from a government to engage with its health sector, with its security forces, and have a pragmatic discussion about an appropriate response, to recognise that incarceration and forced detention is not effective nor humane.
That's all the time we have for this edition of 101 East. You can always follow the program on our website, podcasts and Facebook. From all the team, thanks for watching.